Okay, the problems that most people have with dimensional analysis is using it to verify whether or not an equation is correct or not. And I think your homework has a couple of questions like that. So when you have an equation, the units on either side of the equal sign have to be the same. And for example, here's an equation. X equals 1/2 AT squared. X is distance and it's measured in meters. Acceleration is A and it's measured in meters per second squared. And time is in seconds, T. Now, these are things that you need to know. You just got to know that everything is in meters and seconds. Distance is in meters, acceleration is meters per second squared, time is seconds, and velocity, V, is in meters per second. So if you know those things, then you can do this. So I'm going to take my equation, x equals 1/2 AT squared. The half doesn't matter. It's just a constant, so we'll ignore it. Okay, so everything needs to be measured in meters. So if I take meters per second squared and I multiply it by a second that's being squared in the equation, second squared, the seconds will cancel out and I'll be left with meters. Here's another example. Another example would be x equals b squared all over 2a to the 1/2. Now 1/2 means square root. Okay, so you're taking the square root of b squared all over 2a. Once again, that 2 doesn't mean anything, right? It's just a number. So velocity is meters per second, and if I square it, it's meters per second times meters per second, or meters squared over second squared. I'm going to divide it by the units of acceleration, which are meters per second squared. You can see that the seconds are going to cancel out. The seconds are going to cancel out, and only one of the meters are going to cancel out. So what's going to happen is that you're going to be left with a meter here raised to the 1/2. So if you tried to use this formula, it wouldn't work because it's ending up in the square root of meters instead of meters. So this is not a valid equation. So if you're looking for trying to understand this dimensional analysis thing, what you want are all the units to cancel out on either side of the equation to be the same unit. So if it's x equals, you're looking for meters on both sides. And you're going to plug in the units of all the variables and do the math and cancel them out and reduce them down. And hopefully it'll be a situation like this where you get meters equals meters, not meters equals the square root of meters, because that's not a valid equation. I hope that helps.